Spencer Cassadine became an instant fan favorite when Nicholas Bechtel debuted in the role on General Hospital in May of 2013, but the little kid has had quite a history and some viewers may not be up to snuff on all of the details of the Cassadine prince's life. So let us do you the favor of filling in some of the blanks. Spencer was born on-screen in February of 2006, and was played by a series of infant and child actors. Davin Ransom portrayed the precocious Tyke from 2009-11, after which Bechtel stepped into the role. He had a starring role on the Disney Channel comedy series Stuck in the Middle, so starting in 2015, Bechtel only made sporadic appearances as Spencer when his schedule would allow. Davin Ransom as Spencer with Tyler Christopher's Nicolos in 2011. Howard Wise/JPStudios.com. Who is Spencer Cassadine's mother? Little Spencer was seen as a miracle baby because his mother, Courtney Matthews, was told she was infertile. Of course, being a soap opera, the birth was even more complicated because Port Charles was hit with a deadly encephalitis plague and Nicholas Cassadine and Courtney were both struck down. She insisted on having a C-section to save the baby, but while the premature infant survived, Courtney sadly passed away. Alicia Lee Willis as Spencer's late mom, Courtney. Sean Smith/JPStudios.com. Spencer's baby daddy was also in doubt because Jasper Jacks tampered with the paternity tests to indicate he was the father, and Courtney had died before she could tell Nicolos the truth. Carly helped Jax fix another test that Nicolos ran, but eventually, Robin Scorpio learned the truth and Jax was forced to return the infant to his rightful father. What was Spencer's original name? Courtney decided to name their baby John, after Jax's father, but when Nicolos regained custody, he wanted to try and erase any trace of the time Jax was the boy's father. So he decided to rename him Spencer after his brother and sister, Lucky and Lulu Spencer. His full name is Spencer Alexei Nikolaevich Cassadine. Helena wanted Spencer for herself. Howard Wise/JPStudios.com. Why was Helena obsessed with Spencer? Desperate to control the family empire, Helena Cassadine was having no luck doing it through Nicolos, so she saw his heir as a means to access the family fortune. She managed to get her hands on the trot when crazy nanny Colleen abducted him and the villainess swooped in to snatch him away for herself. Helena took Spencer to St. Petersburg intending to baptize him under another name, but Nicolos and Emily managed to thwart her evil scheme and bring the baby home. Why did Spencer leave Port Charles? Nicolos was upset when he learned that Elizabeth's son, Aiden, was really Lucky's and not his. Refusing to believe it, he planned to skip town with both his boys. But after having a change of heart, Nicolos returned Aiden to Liz and Lucky and simply left with Spencer to start a new phase of their lives. They returned in 2013 in time for Laura's wedding to Scott Baldwin. Spencer clashed with his cousin, Cameron, over who would get to be Emma's boyfriend. He even teamed up with Jocelyn Jacks to split up Emma and Cameron. Nicolos saved his son's life in the deadly fire. Howard Wise/JPStudios.com. How did Spencer almost die? During his birthday party at Windermere, there was a terrible fire, and Spencer and Emma found themselves trapped. Emma escaped relatively unscathed, but Spencer was very badly burned. Although he survived, he was hospitalized for quite some time and had difficulty dealing with being disfigured. But a visit from his mother's spirit taught him that beauty is not skin deep, and when he finally took off his mask, Spencer was happy to find out the scars weren't as bad as he'd feared. Why does Spencer hate Valentine? When Spencer returned from school in the summer of 2016, it was when Nicholas was presumed dead. But Spencer took the news pretty well because he actually was in contact with his father, who was alive and well after faking his death. Unfortunately, during a clash with Valentine Cassadine, Nicholas was shot and fell to a much more permanent demise. Or so everyone believed at the time. Spencer took out his animosity on Valentine's daughter, Charlotte, but saved his true hatred for Valentine himself. Heck, he even went to Sonny to get the guy taken care of. Thankfully, Sonny talked some sense into the kid, and Laura was able to keep him under control. Thankfully, Sonny kept Spencer from going down a dark path. Chris/JPStudios.com. Where has Spencer been? After being kidnapped and rescued, Spencer returned to boarding school, but then he broke his leg, and Laura left Port Charles to take care of her grandson. Once he was on the mend, Laura returned, and eventually, Spencer followed for a visit. He caught up with family and friends, and even managed to squeeze in some time to tamper with the mayoral election to ensure his grandmother would win. Spencer has continued to return to Port Charles for brief visits here and there. However, in January 2020, he was seen at his boarding school in Paris when Ava paid him a visit to reveal that his father, Nicholas, was alive and well. Nick tried to explain to his son that he had been in hiding until he could figure out a way to take the Cassadine fortune away from Valentine, but Spencer was furious with his father and told him to stay away from him. Will Spencer return? Spencer has made no secret of his feelings towards his father and Ava, so while she suspects that it's Ryan Chamberlain who has been sending her creepy gifts and notes, some fans have suspected it's really Spencer out for revenge. Stay tuned to GH to see how Spencer's story continues. Ad block test: why?